Not too close. On this week's road trip close to home,
my grandfather decided to start a zoo, and they built this entire place from the ground up.
Bundle up for an outdoor adventure with some furry friends. You're adorable.
It was kind of like a Christmas miracle, and it's completely transformed our business.
Plus, warm up with this winter treat.
It's so good! Oh my God!
This is great.
Delicious.
That has people lining up. And I feel the need for speed.
Everything from 8 to 12-year-olds in our junior carts, they go a little bit slower, and then from 13 and above, hit our adult carts at high speeds.
Don't worry, this is the perfect place to get started because no driver's license is needed.
On this week's road trip. Hey road trippers, I'm Shannon Lanier. On this week's road trip close to home, let's get out for some fresh air. We're off to Long Island's largest children's zoo and wildlife park. This trip is for all the animal lovers out there. Check out the Long Island Game Farm. It's a wildlife park and children's zoo that was actually the first zoo on the island when it opened in 1970.
My grandfather decided to start a zoo out here in Manorville that had pretty much nothing here at the time. My grandpa, my grandma, my mom, and my aunt all lived in the office that we still have now. This is Thor just coming over to say hi. They pretty much just figured it out as they went, and they kept animals in the house, and they built this entire place from the ground up. 55 years later, we have over 160 animals at any given time.
However, unlike your typical zoo, this wildlife park offers you an opportunity to not only learn about the animals, but also get an up-close and personal experience with them. Not too close.
This year, we will have our private tours. You can come in and hang out with all of our animals in the wintertime especially. Feed our wallabies, pet our wallabies. You can meet Taco here. You can feed our baby goats and learn about a lot of our rescue animals that we have here.
What's one fun fact about this beautiful creature?
This beautiful creature, well, one fun fact is that his shell is attached to his body.
Very hard.
Very hard. Yeah, it's made out of keratin, same stuff as our fingernails.
Holding and petting these animals, who are mostly donated or rescued, is probably the best part of this experience. I think I've fallen in love with Daisy and the Long Island Game Farm, so come take a visit for yourself. They're open year-round. Oh, you're adorable. I mean, how can you not fall in love with my new furry friends? Speaking of friends, get yours ready for a tea party with a twist. Pinkies up for this rolling Midtown tour.
New York, New York. Welcome to Times Square, everybody.
No, you're not dreaming. This is Tea Around Town. This Sky U bus is the winter escape you've been looking for. The double-decker bus has furry seats, flowers, and lights, and is the perfect setting to take in all of New York City with your friends and family. And did we mention, it's a tea party on wheels.
Throughout the trip, you're pretty much trying new teas, you're having great banter with the people that are around you, and pretty much we're trying to provide the service where you're comfortable and safe and happy.
Once you board the bus, your private table is complete with a 3-tiered cake stand, just like you crossed the pond for high tea. During your 90-minute tour, you'll snack on tea sandwiches, freshly baked scones, and sweets like pumpkin cheesecake. And of course, you'll sample a variety of teas and celebrate with a glass of bubbly. You'll be serenaded by the likes of Frank Sinatra and guided as you pass by the New York Public Library, Grand Central, Columbus Circle, and Radio City Music Hall. Truly the most romantic way to take in the Big Apple. Tea Around Town trips depart 7 days a week from 42nd Street between 5th and 6th Avenues, and when you finish, you get to take home your very own teacup. In Midtown Manhattan, Marissa Marcelino, News 12.
From relaxing tea to an adrenaline-pumping adventure, get revved up because Nikita Ramos takes us on a road trip to the Autobahn Indoor Speedway in West Nyack.
If you've got the need for speed, take that with you on this road trip close to home. Autobahn Indoor Speedway at the Palisades Center is where the thrill of the chase comes to life at up to 50 miles per hour.
We do everything from random walk-ins, reservations, and league night where you can compete for a grand prize of $10,000 at the end of the season.
All right, if that sounds a little too intimidating for first-timers like me, don't worry. This is the perfect place to get started because no driver's license is needed.
We got everything from 8 to 12-year-olds in our junior carts. They go a little bit slower, and then from 13 and above, hit our adult carts at high speeds. It's all based on your experience. We control the race for your safety to see how well it's going, and then up the speed based on your performance as you go along.
And that safety is key. Everyone goes through a briefing before the pedal hits the metal.
Keep your hands and feet in the car at all times. Don't go reaching out.
Then you're off to the races, and it's all about your speed here. A good lap can place you first at the finish line. When the checkered flag waves and you still have gas in the tank.
How about a round of ox throwing? The coaches here will help you hit that bullseye. In West Nyack, Nikita Ramos, News 12.
Wow, Nikita, that throw was impressive. Heading to Connecticut now, we're visiting the iconic Pez Candy Factory, a brand that's been making us smile since 1927.
Pez candy has been flying off the factory floor in Orange since 1972. But to get to the beginning, you have to take a trip back in time to the 1920s and this man.
Pez was invented in 1927 by a gentleman named Edward Haas III. It was created in Austria as an alternative to smoking and a way to freshen your breath.
Haas called them Pfeffer.
Pfeffermints. So he used the first, the middle, and last letter of the word in Pfeffermints, which came up with a P-E-Z.
Pez. And in 1952, the company came to the U.S., adding characters to its dispensers and switching to fruity flavors, becoming part toy, part treat, with a recipe folks of any age say is flipping good.
Then this bowl will hold 600 pounds of sugar at a time. And from that, we'll get about 400,000 individual candy tablets.
The sugar is mixed with flavoring and color. Machines then apply 3,000 pounds of pressure to create the candy tablets, pressing 12 million tablets a day.
Hot at the presses? Right.
The candies are then wrapped.
There's a UPC code at the end of those bins that knows which machine to take it to, because we're doing 4 or 5 different flavors at once.
Cameras make sure all the peas are going in the right direction. They're then placed in packaging. The dispensers are added by hand. They're sealed and boxed for shipping. In the end, creating a candy with character. Lots and lots of characters.
Who was the first character?
First character was a witch for Halloween.
Followed by Popeye, then Mickey.
And who's the most popular character?
Oh, that's easy, Santa Claus.
But no matter what the season, in our high-tech world, they're a low-tech treat that makes many of us feel just a little bit better.
Thank you. Why do people love them so much?
It's fun. How can you not like a Pez dispenser? Somebody set one of those down in front of you and it just makes you smile.
I'm Rebecca Saran.
New York City Off-Broadway Week is back. 31 off-Broadway shows are offering a special 2-for-1 ticket. Now, many are brand new productions, so don't wait on this because the curtain closes on this deal on March 3rd. Scan your QR code for a full list of participating performances. All right, we're making a quick pit stop, so don't go too far because we're going to tell you why people are lining up for this sweet winter treat.
This is great.
Plus, a magical and rustic farm in Westchester.
Hi, Grace.
Okay, does your family get restless on road trips? I know mine does. It's a pretty good idea to go ahead, stop, rest, and reset along the way. Okay, 3, 2, 1, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to
Knock it, knock it, knock it, knock it, and walk it by yourself, walk it by yourself.
Welcome back, road trippers. I'm Shannon Lanier. Animal lovers, this road trip is for you. Nikita Ramos brings us to an animal farm in Amenia where you'll meet some very gentle giants.
From bridle to boot, be ready for an unforgettable day at Elk Ravine Farm in Amenia.
When you become relaxed and enjoy what you're doing, you have a different mindset, and then the animals will react to you differently.
And that mindset starts on the carriage, where you'll start to learn how the animals contribute to this land. And owner Jim Archer will guide your tour.
They run about 2 hours long, and for 30 minutes, you're on a horse-drawn carriage, and it provides an unbelievably rewarding experience.
Goal is with these tours is to make people happy, relaxed. It also gives me a pedestal where I can point out all the things that the younger generation needs to be thinking about in preserving the environment.
And it all starts with the animals.
To be able to touch and handle and hold an animal, it brings it all to another level.
Hi, Grace.
Of connection.
Then you've only seen the small stuff. We still got to go on to
the big stuff.
Like the Belgian draft horses, clearly the largest I've ever seen. Big! But also the water buffalo.
I don't know if I want a kiss from you. It'll be a little slobbery.
And Scottish Highland cattle.
With the environmental work that we do, I see it firsthand, what we're trying to protect.
You'll learn how these gentle giants are great for grazing and ultimately helping to control invasive plants. And the fun doesn't end here. Remember that carriage ride earlier? Well, there's plenty more where that came from. Inside, you'll warm up in awe of this carriage collection acquired through the centuries.
Like this reproduction of an 1800s ambulance. This is a one-of-a-kind experience on this road trip close to home. In Amenia, Nikita Ramos, News 12.
Definitely avoid kissing that water buffalo, Nikita. All right, well, I think it's safe to say that there are few things in life worth waiting in long lines for. Well, our Jordan Kassane has a line in New York City that may be worth the wait.
With different delicious treats going viral, it's hard to know which ones are worth it.
Once more for you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
But the reviews for this viral hot chocolate are in.
It's so good! Oh my God! This is great.
Delish.
People we talked to say it's most definitely worth the hype.
It was kind of like a Christmas miracle. I mean, it came about right before Christmas, and it's completely transformed our business.
With hundreds of thousands of likes across social media, Glace's viral hot chocolate has people lining blocks for hours just to get a taste in the cold.
It's worth the cold and the wait.
Maybe it's the real melted hot chocolate or the crispy meringue that turned the treat into an overnight sensation. The man behind the magic,
We're good to go.
gives us a behind-the-scenes look at a fan favorite.
So we start with our house-made marshmallow fluff. And there you have our classic s'mores hot chocolate. It's just a really delicious treat, and I think it makes people happy.
In just the short while we've been here, I mean, dozens and dozens of people have come in to get their hands on the viral hot chocolate. Now remember, it's not here to stay, so if you do want to get a taste of this winter treat, be sure to head out very soon. We're in Manhattan. I'm Jordan Kassane, News 12.
Oh, that looks so delicious. Okay, maybe that's worth the wait. All right, we're going to take exit 14B off the Garden State Parkway for our next stop. Amanda Lee brings us to New Jersey's largest museum where you'll experience art from around the world.
At over 200,000 square feet, the Newark Museum of Art is home to centuries worth of artifacts.
Global Africa, Global Asia, Indigenous art, American, South American. We have a collection of some 130,000 artworks, and that makes us about the 12th largest collection in the country.
So can you kind of talk about this one?
Yeah, I think what we wanted to do here, it's called an EPA headdress, which is here in the Arts of Global Africa. We really wanted people to be able to engage with it because it's so complex. You can look in and turn it around and learn more about various aspects of it.
Are they bottle caps?
Yeah, they're wrappers from like wine bottles and different liquids. We have in this space works from 12th century BCE all the way up to today. We'll be walking through the 18th and 19th century American galleries. What's great about that space is we start with artworks by indigenous makers. Appropriately, we're standing on Lenape land.
We are in a new double gallery that really tackles the history of slavery in the Americas. We talk a lot about the challenges that were faced, families being separated, people being tortured, lives that were lost in the Middle Passage. But we also talk about how the legacy of slavery can still be felt in contemporary culture.
These pieces of art that you see on the wall are from an artist named Adebumi Bodebo, and her ancestors were enslaved in South Carolina. What you see here is sort of a paper mache that she created mixed with black human hair. Incorporated in it are these records of slaves who were actually being sold.
How can we connect visitors to the experience they're having here?
Surrounded by water, devoured by history, isolated.
This artwork is by Cuban-American artist Juana Valdez, and she's thinking about her own migration to the United States after the Cuban Revolution.
I think art tells us about humanity.
Art's not created in a vacuum. All of these artists are kind of taking inspiration from each other and sharing.